And away we go. Edge will give us a first look at the white magic. Life and Fog 2 I saw for sale there. Fire 3 and Warp available, as well as Fast in the Black Magic, so plenty of black magic available. Interesting choices when you have a red mage. You can make a compelling argument for at least 3 spells, if not 4. In fact, Edgeworth's going to remake his party. What an interesting play already. Philes, meanwhile, is going to get out on the world map. Actually, that's the same party. Or no, he took out the white mage and replaced it with a red mage. I'm sorry. I'll be okay. Decisions must be made. But these are going to be some very sword-friendly parties. Now they just have to actually find them. That'll give Philes a couple... Well, I don't know, maybe a minute worth of advantage right now. And looks like Philes is going to check in on the armor shop. We've got copper bracelets. Not too much there. Large knife in the weapons shop. Items. Got the tents available on the cheap. Heals on the real cheap. So they'll, well, I don't want to predict too much what we're going to see. We'll see it when we do, but they're going to take some fights outside of Corneria, it looks like. Grab some extra equipment and spells. Wonder if Edge will end up grabbing a knife for either the fighter or thief, just to have something in their hands to fight with. Philes making the march now up to Marsh Cave. Some cheap prices are nice. The scale on the prices can go up to 300%, so to see them at a discount is a nice thing. 220%, that's max for enemy stats. Did I not say Temple of Fiends? If I didn't say Temple of Fiends, I apologize. First look at the treasure. Just some gold. And a little bit more gold. Philes being sneaky, using the warp to cut some steps out of this. And getting level 4 as Garland goes down. And the bats being bats. But still, Philes gets through, first to kill Garland, first to get a bridge, and a musical instrument that'll just sit around taking up space. So next stop for both runners will end up being the Bridge of Text. And then we get our first possible route divergence. Will you go up to the Witch's Cave? Will you go on to Provoca? So many little decisions to make along the way. This is the first match in the best of 3 between these two runners. They have their next match scheduled for Wednesday night. And Edge will place the tent. Pitch his tent, I guess I should say. Philes is really stocking up on the items so far. Can't fault that strategy at all. Only 2 item shops are going to have softs, so it's usually good to walk out of here with a couple if you can afford them. And when it comes to the heals, if you end up going to Gurgu or something like that, and you don't have heals available in Crescent Lake, it can be very unfortunate if you didn't stock up. Light Axe and early TNT are found. And quite a bit of gold, so I think Edge is going to be pretty happy with that find. So all of you who did leave in your predictions for the Witch's Cave to have TNT, pat yourself on the back, you win 200 bonus points. Philes, meanwhile, about to find the same thing. Forced party members, if you're just joining us, were the Knight and the Thief. This is round 3 flags, so a few things different, and I'll be repeating those as we go along. Both of the runners choosing to bring the red mages. They were optional, of course. I would like to point out for the record, and those of you attempting to check, I didn't say the bonus points were from Speed Gaming, now did I? Can you get 50 bonus points for being close? Absolutely you can. If you're close, you get 50 bonus points. Invis 2 is available at level 2. And Ice 3 is a nice find for the Black Magic shop. And Saber is a little more interesting when you have red mages who can equip swords. The silvers will be expensive in this seed. Also, when you look towards thieves upgrading to ninjas, Saber could be valuable there as well. Now we come to a very interesting fight, because when you're facing 9 pirates and Script Shuffle is on, all kinds of insane things can happen in this fight, and we're about to find out how crazy this can get. But if one of the AoEs gets off, then that'll be it, of course. There's Glance from the pirates. Your biggest concern is you're gonna come into a big AoE that's gonna wreck your party, but that will not be the case. Edge is gonna get the Ice 3 off and make quick work of the pirates. Oh, good question in chat asking for what's Script Shuffle, and I like to put it this way. Do you want imps with nukes? Because this is how you get imps with nuke. It's what will enable enemies to have things that they normally would not have, such as the proverbial imps with nuke. So you will see things that may not normally cast becoming quite fierce in the early game if they pick up one of the big AoEs. We've got the bottle for sale here in Provoca. Well, you can always root for the imps with nuke. But I just find that the best example I can come up with. Now, Edge is going to take advantage of some gold in the bank. Or in his wallet, anyways. Fun fact, you can in fact buy multiple bottles. After releasing the ferry, you can buy another bottle if that would help you line up your items, and you'll never be able to get rid of it for the rest of the game, because you can only release the ferry once. This fun fact brought to you by me, because I could. Question about what are houses, and houses will restore hit points. It'll give you the largest bonus for that. It'll also restore magic points. Not guaranteed to be 100%, but for the lower levels, it might as well be. And being asked what happens if you attempt to release the fairy again. I don't remember the exact message, but you just won't get anything, and the bottle will sit there. It'll say something like just a bottle. Also being asked where my cohort is. Co-host, cohort, what's the difference? Ice Blue is planning to join us. He was running late tonight. We knew that in advance, so he should be here shortly. We did see Ogres was slow, so that's not the most fun thing to run into. Heal and Soft available in the White Magic Shop here in Elfland, one of the most important cities to shop for magic in because you're talking about 1/4 of the spells available in the game. Life 2 and Fade available at level 4 White Magic. Bane sitting there in the Black Magic Shop. And this is why, even when you've got early TNT, you usually want to come check the shops at Elfland. Silver bracelets are for sale here. They are ridiculously expensive at over 14,000 gold. So it looks like Tail could end up being a very important item in this seed. We're making more of these spells available, and the potential of sticking Saber on a ninja. Oh, from chat. Fun fact. Fun is mandatory. It is absolutely mandatory that you have to have fun while watching the Final Fantasy I Randomizer tournament. It is required on everybody to have fun. Sorry if this is news to you, but it's in the tournament rules you all signed by watching. Alright, so with early TNT, usually you'd see a skip of Marsh Cave and an advancement to Melmond and then most likely Crescent Lake. Because you can get a canoe now, and who doesn't want a canoe? Do you get points for reading the... I assume that's supposed to be arbitrary rules. Yes, of course you do get points. It's in the fine print. You have to actually read what it is to be able to claim it, though. So Edge about to get over here to the Dwarf Cave. Am I joined by Ice Blue?
Hey, hey, sorry I'm late.
Well, welcome to the party.
Alright, what have I missed?
Well, Edge remade his party after he saw the level 1 spells and copied Philes to bring the Hat Brigade along.
Okay. What was level 1 spells?
Let's see, just some gold here in Dwarf Cave. I'm not writing down the spells, but it's been interesting so far. They got Fire 3 in level 1 Black Magic. They've seen some really good White Magic, but not available yet, so they'll be hoping for Tail. And we're getting a recap in chat on what
Ogres
spells
with crack, creeps with toxic. Oh boy. That is beautiful, actually.
Ogres had slow as well, so it looks like they've got some things working in their favor. And I've been describing the skill shuffle being on, the script shuffle, correct myself, script shuffle being on this way. Do you want imps with nuke? Because that's how you get imps with nuke.
So we have level 5 exits.
And not learnable.
Red mages can't learn.
Or the nuke. They do have a bunch of level 3 spells available to them, but missing out on nuke and fade, unfortunately.
So where was TNT at?
TNT was in Mayoda's cave.
Okay.
They also picked up the light axe there, so they're in pretty good shape if they run into undead parties. A little bit noteworthy, in my opinion. Also, we have very cheap heals and pures in this seed, so I believe both of our runners have stocked up on them quite a bit so far.
I have a 16-minute Crescent Lake. That's always nice to see. Oh, trolls have poison.
Boy, that almost puts them up to bat levels. Oh, and Stone Touch.
Oh, and Stone Touch. Oh.
This is what happens with script shuffle, people.
Yeah, with script shuffle, you can't really have nice things.
And Edge has got a lot of poisoning going on over on his side, which actually looks tame based on what we've seen so far.
Alright, we got the EXP tier. Wonder if they have anything.
I believe this is our first look at them, so... Low hit points, it looks like, under 210.
It looks fairly weak to me.
Under 210 for sure.
We don't have any sound on Edge's screen, so we didn't get to hear the sound of the amazing poison.
I guess we'll just have to do without this time.
That's
or you can just imagine it for yourself.
It's unfortunate. Yeah, Kylan's got it right.
You mean these are the nice things?
That's just a rude encounter to get right in front of Crescent Lake.
Even if it's a good fight, it always feels a little unfortunate, but hey, a little extra XP isn't gonna hurt when you had to skip Marsh Cave.
Not when it's, you know, Stone Touch trolls with poison. No, I wouldn't want that fight either.
Well, you can't ask for everything.
Oh, very cheap pro rings. They have very similar gold, and they're probably all gonna pick up at least three pro rings for their Heroes of Light. I'm surprised the thief is still alive, actually.
I think Edge walked right by the magic shop, so perhaps not either a money concern or just not concerned based on the spells we've already seen.
He can't afford the inn.
Well, he'll take advantage of a cabin, and one fight will take care of that pretty quickly. I mentioned this once already in the warm-up, but it bears repeating. This being round 3 flags, we don't have the same boosts that we've seen for the rest of the tournament, whereas in rounds 1 and 2 we were getting 5 times experience in gold. In this round we're only getting 4 times. Temper is here at level 5.
Level 6 Temper and level 6 Heal 3. By the way, who's doing tracking? Is it us or is it Fiesel?
It is not me, so I think it's either Fiesel or Czar, actually. I'm not sure. Oh, it's Czar, according to the command. So, thank you, Czar.
Okay, because I had the tracker up just in case. Oh! EXPs have Blaze!
That's a little bit of a changer.
They were so generous before, what happened?
I guess you could call them glass cannons.
They are not having it today. I mean, they could technically kill EXPs. They just need to bring a lot of, you know, healing or 420
Well, also,
blazes.
if you get them right off a save. Oh, and they've got nuke.
Oh,
too.
they have nuke!
Edge takes a wipe. Not much you can do about that one.
EXPs are saying, this is what you guys get for farming me for like 70 plus seeds. It's time for revenge. It's time for the nuke.
Yes,
Oh.
Sar is the one who rolled this seed, by the way, so y'all add that to your meme arsenal.
So their first skill on the command is Blaze, and their first spell on the command is Nuke. Boy, Volcano is going to be fantastic.
This could make things very interesting.
It resets on a single Pete. I would too!
Well, the Ochos have fog too. Not the most threatening thing you're going to see.
Yeah,
That's always
generally
interesting.
around this area, you only see one Ocho in a battle, so he's going to use Fog 2, and it's going to do absolutely nothing, because for some reason in this game, when enemies use a spell, it does not target themselves.
Which could make them very easy to kill. Edge nopes out of the red gargoyles. We haven't seen what they have yet, but they're red gargoyles nonetheless, so... And he's got to
Edge
pass
thought
him.
about skipping the first floor, but decided against it.
I was wondering about that. There'll still be treasure chests he didn't go to yet, but he has
Ooh, the
warp.
floater.
Well, that's why you don't skip these treasure chests.
I think mainly he was going to skip it because of the EXPs on this floor. Which I don't blame him, because that's a terrifying thing to see. 70 plus seeds and you finally get something to devastate the party.
And you still have to get out of here with it, by the way.
Uh-oh.
Has Philes seen the nuke yet?
Philes
Edge
has-
does not.
Philes has not seen the nuke. So he's completely unaware that Peds have something so terrifying. So Philes has a 1-level advantage right now, but it could change if either one of these players wipes in Volcano.
And there is a definite non-zero chance of that happening tonight.
What they got going on in this seed, yeah. Yeah, I'm waiting to see what Philes' reaction is if he sees the nuke. Oh, Edge, no!
Edge doesn't even wait around for that to finish. He's obviously going to go back for the floater, but maybe we'll check these treasure chests he didn't get to yet just to make sure there's not anything there he wants.
Thieves look definitely better laying on the floor, for sure. Platypus has definitely got the right name for it. Volcano.
Fun little item in the heel helmet picked up there.
No, generally with Ice Blue Productions, you get level 1 nuke, and crazy things don't have nuke. This seed, however, you get nuke on something you want to, like, you're like most seeking out to level up before Crescent Lake. Unfortunately, Surprise Pie, Tyro cannot roll nuclear. It's sad, I know, but Tyro cannot roll nuclear.
Oh, somebody bringing up the possibility of Agmas having Death Touch. That could certainly happen and cause all sorts of problems. I was running one earlier today where they had Stun Touch. You were in that, weren't you?
I don't know, because the 2 seeds that I played today, I didn't grind on Agamas, I grinded on I.
Fair enough.
According to Artea, in the first seed that we played, I think the one that you were in, Agamas had nuke.
I did not see that, but I wasn't.
They had 3 spells. They had fire, lit, and then the next spell on the list, which I never saw, was nuke.
Oh boy.
And the seed that we just finished, right before this race, Tiamat 1 had Death Touch. So that was amazing. He just popped in to say hello and goodbye.
I don't even know at this point if Edge has the floater or not, but based on how he's moving, I think he doesn't. He's going back to get it.
Yeah, he's going to pick up the floater now. Yes, Cyclone, I'm with you. I'm waiting to see the nuke hit Philes, because I really want to know his reaction to it when he sees it. Philes about to pick up his floater.
But again, getting it and getting out with it are 2 different things.
Edge opting to immediately warp out of there with it. Wonder if he'll actually go and get the floater. Nope, looks like he's healing up. Yep, he's healing up.
Does the reset and goes back in. He'll skip the treasure and quickly move on without having to deal with the EX beads anymore. Or maybe I'm wrong. That's what I kept forgetting.
Wonder if Philes will go get the... Yep, Philes is going to get his floater. Not a bad idea.
Well, it gives you the chance to pick up some extra things before actually going through the volcano, since I don't think we're going to see either runner do a grind here. There's always valuable in extra stuff.
Czar, they never call it airship in this game.
I hate to tell you this, but yes, they do.
I'm still going to call it it's called the float rock.
First guy at the Toga party calls it the airship.
The skyboat. Oh, Edge is going to go get his floater.
Well, if you don't like what you're seeing in Volcano, why not?
Car hole. The Mercedes of the air.
That's all you get, Mercedes?
I mean, it comes up from the sand. It's about as good as a
enough.
Mercedes.
Do you think you ever get all the sand out of that? I mean, sure, it gets blown around in the air, but do you think it's like the beach, you can never get all the sand out?
You can never get all the sand out. You could wash it 100 times and still never get all the sand out.
Oh, so let's see. As they start exploring the world, well, let's see what's in the Titan's Cave first, and then I'll start worrying about recapping where we are.
Philes picking up a mage staff and a heal staff, which is very nice.
Not bad little items.
Edgeworth picking up his airboat. He's gonna opt to go check Titan Cave as well and grab his rod.
Yeah, I think we'll see both runners check the islands up here as well, so let's find out what's here, and then I'll run through everything. Ice Armor's a nice defensive pickup for their fighters.
This actually makes me kind of sad, to be honest. Because from the way it's looking now, Philes only really has one more chance to see EXPs, and he's never going to know that they have nuke.
Robbed of that pleasure. But there's still at least one more nuke out there.
We have a ribbon and a katana, so if they find the tail, they might keep that thief alive. sky canoe. There we go. That's a good one.
Thematically appropriate.
I mean, it's basically the canoe that you get from the sages, just with, you know, propellers on it.
And a little bit faster. At least in vanilla.
Katana is very strong.
Dragon not quite a good a blocker as the bats are. And by the way, weapons fixes are on in this round, so that makes some of these item choices a bit more significant.
Edge will be very happy to see his ribbon and katana in this cave.
So as we stand here at the 30-minute mark-ish, let's go ahead and run through what we've seen so far. This is a round 3, match 1 of best of 3 between Edgeworth and Philes. They do, by the way, have their next match scheduled for Wednesday night. We have script, spells, and status shuffle all on, so things could get crazy there. Prices will range up to 300%, enemy stats are up to 220%. You do get a gold experience bonus, but it's only 4 times instead of 5 times. Weapons fixes are on. The runners had 2 forced classes. They are the Fighter and the Thief. In Mayoda's Cave, we saw the TNT. In Provoca had the Bottle for sale. Pro Rings for sale in Crescent Lake. Volcanoes got the Floater. Titan's Cave, we saw the Mage Staff and Heal Staff. And in the Islands, we just found ourselves a ribbon and the Katana.
And here I am, just listening to you commentate, and wondering why I sound so crappy.
Well, I did used to work in radio, and I do play-by-play for high school sports and have for several years, so you get used to filling blank spaces of time.
Alright, Philes is going into the cold cave.
Which is incentivized in this round, by the way.
Everybody in chat is calling you out on the Miyota. I believe he means to call it the Miyamoto cave.
Whatever you want to call it. I'll just call it the Witch's Cave and be done with it.
Drive a Miyota Tacoma. Level 7 spell shops for black magic are showing that you get Rub and Quad X, or XXXX.
There's
cheap
the gold bracelets for sale. I think they're actually cheaper than the silver bracelets, interestingly enough.
It is actually Matoya. Air Miyota Tacoma. Actually, Ender, Red Wizards can learn 1 level 7 spell. 1. The very first slot they can learn. Everything else they cannot.
So it'll never hurt you to have more information on your side. Edgeworth did pick up the Oxale, so probably a trip to the waterfall first, I would expect, before the Sea Shrine. Could be wrong. Happened before, will happen again. Philes, meanwhile, employing the warp strategy, gets rewarded with the Adamant.
Not sure if worth.
There's the Power Gauntlet here in the Ice Cave.
That'll be a nice pickup. So if Edge doesn't go there, he's going to miss out on that Power Gauntlet. And if they find the tail, he'll miss out on that Adamant as well.
Of course, you still have to get out of here with it, and that is a non-trivial event.
That is definitely true.
In chat, someone said they didn't realize there were multiple light axes. I actually think there's 3 in the game, if I'm not too far off, but a couple people saying 2.
2 light axes.
Yeah, but still, you stack that with Mage Staff and you can free kill undead all day long.
Yes, there are 2 ice swords, 2 light axes, 2 katanas.
It's the Illuminati, man, all these twos.
That's not the Illuminati, that's Tsar.
The Zaranati?
Tsar is the
Illumazar?
Illuminati. Tsar is the Illuminati.
Well, there you go.
Philes getting an unrunnable frost giant. Today is the 22nd. Oh my goodness. There's 2 10 gold chests. That is right, Will.
Aren't there also 2 of like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chests?
I think so.
So by the way, Edge is doing the waterfalls, so we're going to get a quick look at what the treasure chests available here are.
If he doesn't get out of bounds bat, he's getting banned from the Discord.
Oh, you know what? That's something else you missed. I'm glad you brought that up. Edge's warm-up screen was in fact showing out of bounds bat.
Beautiful.
So I think he gets a pass.
No, he still has to find out of bounds bat. Required.
Looks like these red bones being a little difficult.
But he's getting banned.
Edge gonna go ahead and take this fight. It's a non-required fight, but it's also 9 people, so a bunch of experience available for it.
Wizmummies wield a ton of EXP, and at his level, he wants that XP. Philes about to hit that Frost Ruru encounter.
It is, of course, runnable because they don't have the Frost Giants with them. That doesn't mean you will, just that you can. And not working out so well for Philes right now. But they didn't unleash anything too ugly.
And it's okay, he gets rewarded with a heal potion and $5,000.
A pro ring for Edge.
We have the cap!
That's about it.
We have the cap, everybody. The dream is alive. Edge, please go find out of bounds bat. Save the animal.
Philes about to go to the last treasure chests here in Ice Cave.
He may opt to grind on the eye. Yeah, he's gonna check out the eye and see what the eye's got. Ice Cave was in the waterfall cave.
Say that again?
The cap, sorry. Cap was in the waterfall cave. The ice cave was in the waterfall cave, yes. There is a cave within a cave. Caveception. Ooh, 5 Wizmummies. That's a nice encounter.
Yeah, with that light axe giving you free harm 2s. It's an interesting little spot.
Most definitely rip X-Ice Blue Chitin. I'm still waiting for the randomizer, entrance randomizer Final Fantasy. I really hope that's an option implemented somewhere down the line, because that would be the most amazing thing ever.
You go to Volcano thinking you're skipping Earth Cave, and then all of a sudden you walk in and it's Marsh Cave?
Perfect! Or you walk into Temple of Fiends and suddenly it's, Sky Castle.
That would be a bit insane.
I think it would be great.
Well, I mean, we do all have to be a bit insane to do this in the first place, so there's that.
I lost my sanity years ago. Years and years and years ago.
Question in chat if you heard about Edge doing a starting party remake. I did mention that when you got here, actually.
Yep. I'm gonna have to defriend Edgeworth and ban him from the Discord for not validating with out of bounds bat.
So it looks like Edge is done with that little grind. And with the Oxyl in hand, I assume he will go into the Sea Shrine. Which will of course pose the question, does he go the Kraken route or does he go visit the mermaids? If you were just
Czar, I am looking forward to the next tournament and the different version of the randomizer. It's gonna be amazing.
If Edgeworth were looking for just one item, then it'd be almost a certainty that he'd go the Kraken route first, I think. Don't want to speak for him, but needing at least 2 more plot items, it's take your pick, basically. He gets a nice welcome to the Sea Shrine with an unrunnable fight. And looks like this stuff rolled some good evasion.
He's gonna opt to do Fade strats and just be done with it. Probably gonna walk into another one on the next encounter. If Edgeworth finds the tail and Mermaid Village, that could be pretty big because that'll give his ninja a lot of DPS since he has a katana. That'll give his ninja access to black magic spells, so he could pick up Fire 3, Ice 3 when he hits level 20. What is it, 24 or 22?
Also, Saber was available, so that could become a very interesting choice for a ninja. And the Angry Shark goes away for Edge. $5,000 experience, not bad. And this is where you're glad you stocked up on all those heals early on.
Edge, if Entroper releases a version that basically does entrance shuffle, NPC shuffle, and major NPC shuffle, I will be playing that 24/7. And then yes, incentivize Marsh Cave. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Oh, that could be evil.
Bring you into a cave full of trash to pick up trash. We also better get the Wear Sword added to the incentivized list.
Did find a Thor's Hammer up here with the mermaids. Very useful place to have that in.
Ooh, he picks up an Ice Sword. That's not a bad find at all.
That'll probably make his fighter a little bit happy. I'm not even sure his fighter has a weapon right now.
I think he has...
Oh, probably the Light Axe.
A Light Axe, yes. Right.
Yeah, they found that very early. And the Rune Sword and Silver Knife should be equipable by the Red Mage, so... Here come the ghosts! And Edge gonna take no chances, but it looks like they may be a little bit low on HP. Somewhere 250 to 300 range. Lots and lots of gold available here. That one room he's bypassing is of course locked by the Mystic Key, so no sense even going there. Fun times discovering what can be locked by the Mystic Key. if you're new to the randomizer.
We like to call that room and the chest that's in it TFC. To keep it PG, it's called that freaking chest. You can use your imagination to figure out what the actual meaning of that chest is.
Curious to see how high Philes is going to go grinding this eye. What's your guess?
He's probably going to do about 25-ish. I don't think he's going to go anything. Oh, I'm wrong. He's stopping now.
Well, what do you know? So 22 was the magic number.
That fudge chest, that fork chest, that French chest, slab magnet, friggin' chair, flying chest, furry chest, funk chest, Fred. There we go. Good. We got some good names. Fantasy chest.
Yeah, of course, now I want fudge, so thanks so much for that. Edge back into the Sea Shrine, and we'll head down to the Kraken route.
The funky chest contains a disco ball.
Philes has gone back into Volcano now.
I am 99,000% sad because he's not going to see the nuke.
Well, you'll have to make a note of that to bring it up to him after the race.
Absolutely. Both runners getting very close to defeating their first fiend.
So take a moment here and let's say thank you to everyone tuning in to watch this matchup between Edgeworth and Philes. We all appreciate you tuning in to enjoy this great action of the Final Fantasy Randomizer Tournament, and thanks Speed Gaming for hosting us tonight.
Tifa's fine chest. That is right. Ooh, lobsters look like they rolled a lot of strength here. Just saw a 152 hit. And he picks up the Zeus Gauntlet as well.
Accompanying Thor's got a lot of lightning available here.
Edge getting a look at how the waters are going to be for Temple of Fiends Revisited. And he picks one spell, knocks it out, so not too bad, but it also did 400 damage.
Philes picked up the Bane Sword. I will now be greatly disappointed if we don't see the Bane Sword used against Tiamat 1.
I mean, I'll also be disappointed if it's not used against Chaos, but eh.
Well, you never know. Chaos might die too fast.
Ice 3 rolls better than Nuke on the waters, yes, because water is weak to ice, so it actually does 2 times normal damage, so it has a higher chance of critting, which most people don't know that spells can actually crit in this game, which is the reason why Bane goes through a ribbon or, you know, stuff like that happens. Skills and spells can crit.
Being asked what the average time is, well, we haven't seen too many round 3 flags, so I don't know that we have a definitive estimate on what the average time is, but we would most likely be over it, looking at a seed that will be over it based on plot progression items. We found the floater in Volcano, but still missing the slab and the crown, and we already know that neither of them is in Ice Cave, so the hunt will be on for those 2 items, and that's where part of the big time loss comes from.
A little side note, Philes picked up the ruby, just gonna starve the Titan the seed. And this encounter for Philes is actually unrunnable. Wizogre Cerebus is an unrunnable encounter. Even if you get an encounter with 1, 2, or 3 Cerebus, that was also considered an unrunnable, even if the Wizogres are not there.
And our first look at the Red Dragon. Goodbye, Red Dragon. That one is a runnable fight, and Philes decides not to mess with it. Stun touch on the Agmas, so you weren't grinding on them today.
I'm guessing Edge doesn't realize that he has ice armor, because, okay. He completely must have forgot, because he's been having that ice armor since Cardia Islands, and he just picked up the flame armor to equip to his fighter.
Bouncing around his inventory now, and if you don't remember if you checked a treasure chest, usually a good idea to go ahead and check it again just to be sure.
Absolutely. We had a racer get an encounter on a same tile as a chest that he was about to check, finishes off the encounter, and he left the chest. Turns out that chest had the floater in it, which cost him a lot of time.
You just want to make Tristal mad at you, don't you?
I wasn't trying to point out the name, but thanks for doing that.
We all know what you meant. We saw it.
Philes picking up the first orb, lighting it on fire, not getting nuked. Sad.
And looks like Philes gonna go Earth Cave next? That is an interesting play.
Philes doing the vanilla saving strats by doing a house first and then a tent. And getting sweetly rewarded with the 450G. And I'm giggling because I'm laughing at the chat because of the hashtag nuke Philes.
Which, by the way, there is more nuke out there, so could still happen again with something else.
But it's only on the Fiends, which is sad times. I prefer to have seen it from the EXPs.
So I wonder if this is going to be a full clear for Philes, or just checking the easy treasure chests.
It's probably going to be a full clear. He does not have the slab or the crown.
Oh, and he picked up the Vorpal at some point. I missed that one.
Oh, Opal Bracelet. That is a nice find.
Not something you will be unhappy about getting at all.
With what? 32 or 34 absorb with -1 on the evasion charts? No, not at all.
In fact, looks like he's going to save that progress before going on.
We're trying to see now if Philes is going to get J. Coper bats.
I'm trying to get the community to change from the language of calling things trolling. I feel like we've been giving a bad name to trolls. We should be calling it batting.
J. Coper bat team assemble. And everybody thought Kraken 2 was the hardest boss in the game. Obviously have... Oh, white shirt. They've obviously never experienced a team of J. Coper bats.
Speaking of Kraken, Edge about to get up there to that.
Definitely taking this encounter because this is a nice experience encounter.
For those at home thinking, oh no, this seed has just been entirely too easy on these runners so far, there's still a lot of ugly skills out there that are unaccounted for right now.
Yeah, we have Trance as one of them. Trance is definitely the lowest one that I ever want to see on my list. Temple of Fiends Revisited definitely changes the game. Because you can experience, well, not this seed because we've already seen the nuke, but you could experience something like Germadeuces with nuke, or Badmen with nuke.
Kraken with 11 hits.
But did he do damage, though?
Did a good bit. It was, I think, about 250. It goes by pretty quick, so...
Oh,
Well,
knocking down
415,
that
there you
fighter.
go.
Knocking down that fighter. But he has enough charges of fate to take care of this.
Kraken could have up to 220% of hit points.
Ooh, 757 on that thief.
Nice knowing you, A.
Ayy. And Kraken goes
Kraken.
down.
The Fades carry the day and ends up being a good experience payoff for the Red Mages. Philes
We have,
continues to work through the Earth Cave.
We have Angry Sushi here, fighting back for his life. And then we have the true boss of the Sea Shrine, Lobsters, inside of sea snakes.
Oh, anybody who's listened to me knows I'm very paranoid sort, and I don't like taking steps from tough team fights without healing first so that I don't get wrecked by the next thing I run into.
Oh, Philes, you just stepped on a trap tile. Why?
He likes the Earth's hair and wants to get tips.
I think he needs to go back to the volcano and experience a nuke. Edge opting to run away from the Neocho. I don't know if that's a good idea. 4,000 experience is nice.
So we know Crown is not going to be in the Sea Shrine. We know it's not in the Earth Cave. We know it's not in the Ice Cave, and we know it's not in the volcano. So we're starting to run low on options.
Right, Jiggly Saint? Nachos. That sounds really good.
By the way, I apologize. I wrote off Earth Cave Treasure way too early. He's by no means done, so we could still find Crown or Slab here.
We have a comment in chat, Edge back for more nuke. Sadly, he won't see it because of the only floor you will see EXPs is on that first, or the second floor. So sadly, he will not see the nuke. But I think he's seen it enough. He did get it twice.
And we're about to get our look at the most terrifying and fearsome opponent in all of the game. Guarding our way from any further progress is the Vampire.
I'm hoping that Bane Sword works. Please don't kill him with the fire. Oh.
Well, can't have everything in life.
Unfortunately. Edge picking up his Vorpal Sword. Question in chat. So why does Edge keep his Thief in slot 1? Shouldn't that be the fighter spot? No, actually, with a Thief in your first slot, it actually increases your chances of getting primitive strikes and getting ambushed. It lowers them. And you also have a meat shield in the front.
Found our second ribbon here in the Earth Cave. It is paying off with some good treasure for Philes, if not one of the required items, but some good stuff so far. Picked up Opal Bracelet, White Shirt, and Ribbon in here so far.
Earth Cave turning out to be very nice. TFC. How long did it take you to think of that one, Surprise Pie? Because That conversation was like almost 20 minutes ago. But nice, Tyro food container. That is a good one.
I don't even know what to say to that.
He has been thinking really long for that one. That is some dedication there.
Actually, I do have to ask a question on that. Are you saying it's food for the Tyros, or that's where the steaks are being kept?
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the slab nor the crown is in Earth Cave. Edge has checked Sea Shrine, so that means this is a marsh cave or it's ordeals that has one of the items or possibly both.
Let's see. Philes has not been to sea, which might be his next stop. Edge has not been to Earth yet.
I'm thinking it's Marsh Cave as well. Czar did roll this seed, and it does favor Marsh Cave.
Oh, well,
But then again, Philes is in this race, so it also favors Ordeals, because Ordeals is trash, and Philes is the king of trash.
So I mentioned we had some skills unaccounted for as Carrie unleashes thunder.
Whew. Well, I missed that.
Carrie didn't miss Edge's party, but still enough life on the fighter red mage that not too worried, especially when she attacks on round 2. But Fade not doing much damage. Well, 280. Okay. Lich is down.
Philes has agreed that he is the king of trash. That is why I call him that. Philes contemplating life decisions. Oh, we have a marsh cave gamble? I like it.
Well, it is the easiest place to land the airship. Although
I like this gamble.
This is Philes going here before Sea Shrine, interestingly.
This is a nice divergence, actually.
With the levels, though, it's a much friendlier place. But who knows what ghastly skills are available down here that we haven't seen yet.
We should call Philes King of Ordeals Castle. What's the difference? I mean, Ordeals is trash. It's the trash castle. Like, what's the difference? If I call him King of Ordeals and King of Trash, it's the same thing.
Edge has opted to go the close route, making his way into Ice Cave. So he'll be rewarded with the Power Gauntlet and Adamant for his digging. Actually, we're at the 1 hour mark, so good time to run through what we have so far. This is round 3, match 1 between these two runners. This means that skills, scripts, and status effects are shuffled. What does that mean? Well, you want imps with nuke because that's how you get imps with nuke.
But this time we didn't want imps with nuke, so instead we got EXPs with nuke.
Oh, there you go. The prices are shuffled up to 300%. Enemy stats are shuffled up to 220%. The gold experience bonus is reduced from the 5 times we were running up until now to just 4 times plus 400. Weapons fixes are on, so you see different weapons favored than what you normally would. They had 2 forced party members. They were the Thief and the Fighter for this seed. Matoya's Cave had the early TNT available. The Volcano, we found the Floater, the Main Sword, and the Vorpal. I can talk, I promise. Titan Cave had the Mage Staff, Heal Staff. The Zardia Islands had the Ribbon and a Katana. The Ice Cave has Adamant and Power Gauntlet. Waterfall, nothing to write home about. Sea Shrine had the Thor's Hammer and Zeus Gauntlet. Earth Cave had a bunch of useful stuff with the Opal Bracelet, White Shirt, and a second ribbon. And that's what we have so far, as Philes digs through Marsh Cave.
And being rewarded with nothing. Oh, the gamble did not pay off.
So you would think for Philes, the next likely play is Sea Shrine.
Oh,
is
he is
gonna
going
do
to
it?
Ordeals.
He's gonna do it.
We have a question in the chat. Are you reading those from a list or from memory? He's doing this from memory.
Oh, that I had a memory like that. See, Windows has this nice little program that's great for keeping track of all this stuff. It's called Notepad. It's a very handy tracking tool.
So I lied to you folks. He is reading them from a list. I am disappointed in you.
If I had a memory like that, I'd be in Vegas making millions of poker.
And I would be right there with you, cheering you on and holding out my hand at the same time.
Oh, since we're in Ordeals, it warrants mentioning that the Pillar Shuffle is in effect. But with Warp, it's not as trolly as it could be. In fact, that would be... That would have been the time I used Warp.
Philes is stuck in an infinite loop here.
If you warp, it'll take you back to where you just warped from, so you can use that to get around the Pillar Shuffle and navigate it faster. Philes didn't do that in this case. And the reason that that's significant, as Chad is mentioning, is there's a potential soft lock if you go through too many warps and then menu as he's back to the start. And he gets zombles for the trouble.
He is dangerously close to that soft lock.
I was scared of that earlier today. I was in Ordeals without warp. So I just didn't menu because, as I understand it, that's the other requirement. Can you run us through what it actually involves?
I think it's pretty much anything. If you menu or like try to hit select, it soft locks and the game freezes up because it's too many values in the system for it to register, and it just stops. And there's the third ribbon for Philes in Castle Ordeals.
Edge has gone to Earth Cave, by the way, so he's going to get the same treasure that Philes has and not find any of the required items because Philes didn't. So we either have to have Crown or Slab, and we've got Slab.
In a non-incentivized chest, we find a key item.
Was not incentivized in this round. Ice Cave was.
We find a slab in a non-incentivized chest. If Edge does not realize that this is a Philes, Philes is in this race, he needs to make the decision to go to Ordeals first instead of Marsh Cave if he wants to pick up some time. With the slab being in Ordeals, Crown is 100% in either Mirage Tower or Sky Castle because there's no other chest in the game.
Yeah, it can't be behind one of the locked chests, and it can't be in Temple of Fiends Revisited. Hey, great question in chat. What does incentivized mean? You want to run through that, Ice Blue?
Incentivized means that in the vanilla version of the game, there was always a key item in specific chests in the Marsh Cave, Castle Ordeals, and Ice Cave. Unfortunately, Marsh Cave doesn't have an incentivized option yet. That may be coming in a future update. But Ice Cave and Castle Ordeals does. So with that, you basically get the choice of incentivizing Ice Cave or incentivizing Castle Ordeals, meaning that it's going to place a key item or a very powerful piece of gear, could be either a Mazmune or a ribbon, and it will place that into those chests, and they will always be in there if it's incentivized.
So someone in chat brought up a very good point that if Philes uses the slab to go Mirage Tower first, although I don't know if he has the cube.
From the route that he's taken, he's going to pick up the Oxyale. He's going to go pick up the Chime. He may opt to go gamble and check Mirage Tower first and second floor. Philes definitely does that a lot.
If that's where the crown is.
If that's where the crown is, he's in go mode.
With 3 ribbons even.
Yeah, he's decked. The only thing that would be nice is a better weapon.
A tail or Masamune. Hey, another good question in chat. Where is the Mystic Key required? So you know where the Phantom is, and he guards where you need the loot. You go through that ladder, and you come out the other side into a room, and that doorway is locked by the Mystic Key.
Making the Mystic Key required to finish the game.
It's one of the things I love about randomizers. You will learn more about the game than you ever would have otherwise.
Why the developers lock that one specific door? I guess as to put a flag in there to check to make sure that you are completing the game with the Mystic Key. Outside of that, no clue.
Hey, remember how I said we had nasty skills unaccounted for? We just accounted for one of them. Images have Blizzard.
Oh. Confetti Giant says, wow, is that in the regular version of the game? It is, but we never know because you get the key basically, you know, in the very beginning of the game.
And Chad also pointing out what I was about to, that there is that one treasure chest that is blocked by the Mystic Key in Sea Shrine as well. So they put little checks in the game to make sure you had to complete everything. Obviously, they were already aware of skips and things happening in games, so they put these little protections in. And it'd be fascinating to see if in future versions we get to lock more doors or less doors or anything of that nature. Philes comes to see the Toga Party.
He's gonna dance. He can dance if he wants to.
So now it's going to be the big question for Philes. Do you go to sea? Do you go to sky?
When you're racing someone like Edgeworth, I believe he's going to take the gamble and go to Mirage Tower, which he's doing.
Alright, he can get to a lot of treasure chests very easily on the first 2 floors.
You have 10 on the second floor, and I believe 8 on this floor? That Coral Sword's not... Oh, Defense Sword and a Coral Sword. That's not bad at all.
And
Coral Sword can go on his Thief. That'll be the best weapon for his Thief.
Picks up the defense, and he's got 2 treasure chests left on this floor.
And then 10 on the next.
And the big hope for him is that he finds Crown, which would give him a significant advantage over Edge at this point.
Edge still needs to go and complete Castle Ordeals.
Of course, he doesn't know that yet. He does have the option of going to the Marsh Cave first, which we saw Philes actually do, went Marsh Cave first, since that was the easier place to land the airship for.
It's not a bad choice, though. Especially with the level of his team. Alright, will Philes get the crown? 9 chests to go. Picks up a Chimera encounter instead.
And will there be anything particularly evil guarding in all this? Pro Cape.
He finds the crown!
At 1 hour 15 minutes and about 12 seconds, Philes has hit go mode. So we now know where all required items are, and if Edge doesn't go to Castle Ordeals, he could be at a significant deficit. Philes is obviously going to finish the treasure chests here, and most likely take the easy ones on the way to Kraken.
At that point, I don't even know how I would keep the heal helmet. I'd probably pick up the flame shield.
Philes will warp out. And he's gonna go visit the Sea Shrine.
But he doesn't have to check Mermaid Village and the other places for the Sea Shrine. He's in go mode. With 3 ribbons.
And the opal bracelet as well, so yeah, there's some other nice stuff out there that you could get, but you aren't gonna go to too much trouble to find anything.
The only thing he's really missing is just a better weapon, because I think he's still using the ice sword.
And you're probably not gonna lose any sleep over not getting the tail with this parties, but they sure would have benefited from it.
With the 2 katanas found, yeah, absolutely. Tail in general would just be nice. With weapon fixes on, Excalibur is actually still pretty good. Masmune would seal the deal, though.
Being brought up that Philes could hypothetically check a few chests. Oh, I'm sure Philes will check some chests. I think he'll check this entire row, because what if that has tail and you didn't really take any extra time to check these things? He's just not going to go out of the way, like we won't see him go visit the mermaids to check those treasure chests.
Vorpal, better than Masmune.
I don't even know what to say to that. I think Sar's just trying to stir up trouble.
Edge, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Ugh.
Philes is going to pick up the cube. Edge is going to go to Marsh. Let's see. I didn't even write anything down as being in Marsh. I don't think there was anything that significant.
I didn't see anything.
In chat asked, where is the cube? Anything that is an NPC item, meaning an NPC hands you that item, is not shuffled in the randomizer. Astos is still going to give you the crystal. Beaky, Bikey, whatever his name is still going to give you the ship. Sarah's still going to give you the loot. King's still going to give you the bridge, etc., etc., etc. If it's an NPC item, it's going to stay the same. For now. With this version of the randomizer. And Philes gets the unrunnable fight here. I love it, going for the Bane Sword strats. Takes out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 9, that's a majority.
It's not a bad number.
Edge resets, not finding anything in the north side of the Marsh Cave. Confetti asking if that was some typing in Notepad that you heard. Well, I don't know, but it wasn't on my part. I haven't been typing. That's on Ice Blue's side.
Sorry, that's me. I have a very loud mechanical keyboard.
I can see where people would wonder that, though.
There's nothing in this seed worthy of MS Paint strats.
Really? Not even the nuking EX speeds?
No, because you can save it outside. Now, if you were on like the bottom floor of Temple of Fiends and you get nuked by airs, which I might add that I've seen before, we got some frustration going on Philes' screen with these unrunnables.
Well, that is the one thing Edge has going for him, is he's got all these unrunnables in the Sea Shrine behind him.
And Edge is done with Sea Shrine, so he can escape that. I've seen a seed before where air elementals had nuke, and you never found that out in Sky Castle. So you thought it was going to be a nice, beautiful walk through the Tiamat 2 floor of Temple of Fiends Revisited, only to find out that you get nuked right after you finish off Tiamat 2, and have to start TOFR again.
I think Edge is about to check his last treasure chest here in Marsh and be disappointed. But if I'm recalling his route correctly, he's done everything else, so it makes the next choice very obvious.
He thought about it, and he went to Marsh Cave first. He's going to definitely hit himself for that. And he got lost for a second. Slab was in the unincentivized ordeals chest. You would think that it was incentivized.
Yes, Slab was in the very last treasure chest.
Masmune could be in the validation chest in the Temple of Fiends Phantom Room, and it also could be in Vanilla location as well. It also could be locked away in some of the key chests as well.
Which could be interesting. We might actually get one last chance, even with the runners in Go mode, to see it. Because they may check Elf and they may check Corneria. And maybe if you really feel like you would benefit from finding Tail, you might go check Dwarf.
Sorry, I'm gonna mute my mic for a second.
Yeah. I will say, though, on the other side of that is, with Edge maybe feeling a little bit behind, having come to Ordeals last, he might not think that that's the best option. Edge getting a Zomble as Philes is dealing with Kraken. We saw Kraken hitting pretty hard earlier. But with the white shirt, Viz 2 is free.
Okay, sorry about that.
We're just watching Philes deal with Kraken, and Edge navigating the maze of pillars using the warp strats.
This is definitely a close race, but this also could be a Temple of Fiends Revisited race. So that's definitely something that could turn this race around.
Yeah, Philes' advantage is getting into Go mode, I believe 12 minutes ago at this point. But Edge is going to be there not long after, because the only place for Edge to go at this point is Mirage Tower, so... They might even high-five each other there, potentially.
Oh, Edge just got lost. He went through the right portal, but he turned himself around. Philes lighting his water orb.
And Edge probably just realizing that something went wrong there. And the unrunnable zombies just to make the frustration level go up a bit. Of course, with Edge, that's probably something along the lines of, huh, bummer.
Crown was in Mirage Tower, 2nd floor in the diamond chest.
Edge has now taken quite a few of these pillars. And that was the wrong one.
Edge, buddy, you went to the right one, you just didn't... Ugh.
He's gonna reset to avoid risking the soft lock.
Yep.
Can't fault him for that at all.
Zalnop, Philes went to Mirage because Philes is very famous for taking that Mirage Tower gamble after cashing in the slab for the chime to check those first 2 floors of chests, and it actually paid off very, very, very well for him.
Yeah, Philes advocates that because they are so quick to check, and especially that first floor, you're just walking right by, spending no time if you're coming back to it, so not a lot of time loss. And it can pay off exactly like it did. Well, Edge navigated the maze that time, so he will soon find the slab. And of course the puns are coming out. Well, I shouldn't say coming out, they've been coming all night, but... The Blue Dragon. This is actually our first look at the Blue Dragon, and we'll say goodbye to the Blue Dragon. And Philes is going to check some of the chests here. These are easy to get to. This will probably be the only room on this floor Philes checks. By probably, I mean I'm guessing, but it seems much more likely than not.
Taking
Don't like to
being
jump out on-
reacquainted with his old buddy I.
I don't like to jump out with definitive statements, though. They have a habit of going the wrong way for you. And Philes is going to check some more treasure here.
He's looking for a better weapon, I'm assuming. Which, can't blame him. Ice Sword is not the greatest thing to walk into TOFR with.
And Edge finds the slab at 129. He will have to translate it, but otherwise that is not enough to put him in go mode yet, because he still has to get the crown, but he had to get the slab to get the crown. Edge is going to get out of here, go visit Dr. Un, who for some reason needs bacon to teach you a foreign language.
He needs the slab of meat.
Well, he should just go to Arby's. They have the meats.
Lupa Lupa! Nope, we will not get the Lupa Lupa this time around.
Oh, so, by the way, we haven't done this yet. Hey, Chad, do you think we're going to see a Warmech tonight? Maybe not
I
quite to the
have
Bridge of
this
Destiny, but want to give you
particular.
plenty of time to get your guesses in.
I have this particular icon or emote set up on my channel for this whole scenario.
If you correctly guess the number of Warmechs tonight, you win more bonus points. Question in chat, they haven't controlled the step count to avoid the Warmech. They actually cannot, because as of round 2, we have a shuffle of the RNG table. So yes, you could learn what that table is and theoretically avoid the Warmech, but you wouldn't know where Warmech is in the table to be able to avoid him. So no, they are not going to be able to manipulate that to avoid the Warmech.
No, I'm not fishing for subs because my $4.99 sub is actually a Tyro emote, which I've had one sub specifically for that emote. That's about it.
Okay, Philes, almost to the Bridge of Destiny. Edge gonna pick up the chime. He's gonna be able to run through Mirage Tower quickly, so we should get a good idea of where they are time-wise.
The second floor and grab that crown. If Philes wipes to a Warmech here, that would give Edge plenty of time to come back and catch up. Everybody get your Warmech blessed RNGs in chat.
I don't know how much Edge will look around for treasure to maybe find the tail himself or a better weapon. But if Philes did have a wipe, he would just skip the things that didn't have what he wanted anyways. And we're about to get our look at Tiamat.
No Warmech. Sad times. Oh, we got the Bane strats coming out, though.
Gotta go for the Bane strats. It's just not a run unless you do.
Oh, he gets it on the first try!
Thank you, Philes. You just made my night. He will take his orb and go.
He lit that orb very, very quickly. He is en route to Temple of Fiends Revisited.
Hopefully not, because he's still got to do the crown quest.
But will he remember it, though?
Oh, in this race, you better. And
he's going to get there. Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to experience the biggest plot twist in history. Astos was in fact the king of that castle.
That's right, he's responsible for all the bats, because this is where they hang out.
We have multiple clips in chat with the Philes Bane strats.
I love it. Let's make sure to get some of those in the Discord. Which is a subtle hint to remind Zara to post the Discord link.
And while we're waiting for Zara to post the Discord link, do yourselves a favor and follow the two runners. And follow the commentators, and follow the tracker. And follow Fiesel. Follow Speed Gaming, Speed Gaming 2, Speed Gaming 3, Speed Gaming 4.
Speed Gaming 8, the Ocho.
Follow Fiesel 2, even though he tells us not to.
Well, you can't just do everything he tells you to.
Philes, man, you completely missed the elf there.
Well, if that's the worst mistake he makes all day, that's not that bad. Can anyone explain the Bane strat to a noob? Bane always has a chance to work, but Tiamat 1 is actually a little more to Bane than normal, so there's the tail.
And
One of
Philes
the few chests they would have checked.
Philes is making a beeline for Cardia Islands.
One of the few treasure chests he would have checked. Well, actually, it looks like he is going to.
No, I think he's going to turn in that adamant.
Oh, makes sense. Well, he gotta figure he would check the room too while he's there, because why not?
Knowing his luck, he'd probably like do all this stuff to get the adamant, and then he's gonna find the Masmune down there.
Got red mages, he put to good use.
Nice job, Philes. You didn't even class change, and you're trying to equip the Excalibur. Good job. Getting a little trigger happy with that tail, right?
Question if that is go mode now. They were already in go mode. They didn't need to do any of this. They were just... He was taking the chance in case he found something that good, and he did.
Oh, and dragon armor as well.
Do racers know the contents of the chests? Not until they try and open them. Which, by the way, is one of the conveniences of the randomizer. In vanilla, it would just tell you couldn't hold more. In the randomizer, it'll tell you what specifically is in that treasure chest, which is one of the wonderful, wonderful features of the randomizer. Philes will now go visit the friendliest dragon in the game, who, for some reason, is obsessed with rat tails, and he will give you a class change out of it.
Turn in a stinky tail, change your clothes.
And it looks like Edge is on the hunt for something else to be of use, possibly the Masmune, possibly the tail. But we already know from Philes' journey through here that he's not going to be rewarded for those efforts. Actually, he's going to check more treasure chests, so maybe he'll find something that Philes didn't. Found a pro cape, but what do you drop for it?
The heel helmet, what else?
Well, he decides nothing. Philes sorting out all the weapons here. And someone correctly pointing out, Philes did check that side of the chests too. That is correct. I actually thought Edge had gone to a different room. I didn't realize that until after. So Philes, meanwhile, has one more place that he could check treasure before going to Temple of Fiends Revisited. And can also get magic now. He can get white magic on the knight, and he can get black magic on the pajama-clad ninja. But he's not going to do any of that. He's just going to go to Temple of Fiends.
Did Edge drop the katanas he found? Because he didn't equip them to his ninja.
That would be hard to imagine that you wouldn't keep at least one.
Especially with a thief in tow.
Alright, first look at the gas dragons.
Edge, man, you're losing too much time with these chests.
Yeah, he's got no weapon equipped to that ninja. Edge continues to look through Sky Castle, trying to find something more. As the song says, he still hasn't found what he's looking for. I promise, no more karaoke.
I mean, you can continue, that's fine.
I don't even know the next words of the song. Oh, this gas drag can be a little stubborn. Down it goes. So, a question in chat, is Philes a good bit ahead? Yes, indeed he is. He's in Temple of Fiends at 140. Edge doesn't even have the last orb yet. And Edge will still have to do the Mystic Key quest chain. So, for Edge to catch back up, it's going to take something nasty that Philes runs into.
But then you have to think about it. Edge will run into that as well.
I didn't say pass, I said catch up. There it is, Edge just found the Moss Immune.
Oh, snap. So he won't even go digging for that tail. Wait, did he equip the Moss Immune to the Thief, or did he equip it to the Fighter?
Well, the Thief is dead, so I would assume it's on the Fighter. So it was in one of the diagonal rooms that Philes would not have gone to. That's why Edge is going to get a little advantage there. But will it be enough to matter? Because again, at this point for Edge to catch up, it's going to take Philes running into something nasty.
Man, too bad Peds can't spawn on the fire floor.
Well, but you know it can spawn on this floor? Lich can spawn on this floor. In fact, he will. So it'll be our first look at one of the revisited fiends. Find out how nasty they're gonna be.
Hashtag nuke files, everybody. Hashtag nuke files. I have a request. So whenever Philes finishes and he joins up on the Discord, because he's gonna load up the chat, everybody needs to do hashtag nuke files.
Some earths blocking the way to Lich. And Edge still trying to work his way through to get to Tiamat. We didn't get a look at how tough Tiamat is because of the Bane Sword. And we're about to get our first look at Lich Revisited. We could have the second time in this race where they're both on a fiend at the same time.
Everybody say hello to Lich. Lich pulling out the stun strats.
Not gonna do much, but Excalibur didn't do too much against him, but he had some low hit points. And he goes down. After only taking 100 damage from Excalibur, I was wondering.
Well, he also took 250 from a Fade.
I still think that was under 400 combined. So we say goodbye to Lich and we say hello to Team.
Feels war mech, man. That is right, Asian Steve. Feels war mech.
Tiamat hit for 200 damage. Nothing too scary. and goes down to a 700 damage hit as Philes gets over to carry. Edge will get the last orb relit and move on to the Crown and Key quest. Now this brings up an interesting thought process for Edge, because on one hand, you gotta imagine you're behind if you're thinking about your opponent at all, just because you had to full clear everything. You went everywhere in this seed, so that almost certainly means your opponent got into Temple of Fiends before you just don't know by how much. So, with that knowledge in mind, do you go hunt, chest locked by the Mystic Key, thinking maybe you get something that gives you an advantage, or do you think I gotta get in there as quickly as I can? And Carry goes down.
Hashtag lazy tracker. I'm over here changing his stuff for him.
And the witch is gonna roll this with an herb to make up for getting her crystal back. Philes using the heal potion strats to recover before going to the water floor.
So at this point in the game, Edge is quite a bit behind. He's still got to go do at least 5 or 6 more floors of Temple of Fiends Revisited to catch up to Philes. So this is Philes' game to lose.
Still 2 fiends and Chaos himself to look at to see what kind of things, what
The
kind
2
of
most
horrors
dangerous fiends, we might add. Philes could also experience a trance lock as well.
And among the fun things still available, one of the fiends could have nukes, so...
Nuke and nuclear. Those are still on the table.
His fighter will survive that, but the hats might not fare so well. Oh, he gets a nice pack of waters just before Lich.
Kraken.
Sorry.
Lich was 2 floors ago.
Hey, if that's the worst mistake I make all night, I'm doing pretty good.
Now that would be nice. Trap tile randomizer.
In that case, you better heal up all the time. It
Trap
looks like
tile
Edge
randomizer would be nice.
Edge is not going to go for the treasure chest. He goes straight for TFOR, so not going to find the tail.
In his mind, he has the Mazmune. He's good.
And Kraken 2. What horrors await? Well, there you go. 740 damage for 1 hit. That's what horrors await.
Hat 1's, not feeling it today. He just decides to take a nap.
Second cast of the white shirt will probably reduce things to where that hit's not too scary.
61 damage now to his fighter, or knight. So he's fine.
Yeah, you can't blame Philes at all, though, for casting the Invis 2 using the third cast of the white shirt. Because
we have Edge getting an unrunnable. Oh.
yeah,
Dirt Nap Thief.
if Kraken brings that to the other hat, that would be a bad day.
Oh yeah, he's gonna keep casting that Invis too, hoping that he doesn't hit him with anything. Kraken is also looking like he's in a physical attack loop. Uh-oh. Oh boy. We have the fast strats out on Kraken.
Not That's a lot of damage Kraken's taken. This should be it.
Oh,
It
Kraken
is
is
1,000
down.
damage. That was a scary fight.
It most certainly was.
That's exactly the kind of thing that could really wreck you. If that had ended up hitting his other hat, then even getting through the fight might not have been enough.
And we have another unrunnable encounter for Edgeworth. Zombie D's.
Oh, every one of those is so painful as you're approaching the 2-hour mark.
Alright, we have our first look at Tiamat 2. The game's alternate final boss.
He's moving the white shirt this time. Maybe wanting to protect it? He will go for the Bane Sword strats.
I think it's because he's very low on healing. So he assumed that his thief would get destroyed on the first turn.
Out comes Blizzard, not the scariest thing with 3 ribbons. If that had one-shotted Tiamat with Bane Sword twice, that would have been a run for the ages.
I would have just declared Philes as not even having to finish off Chaos. He would have just won the seed. Edge is making up some good time after dealing with all those unrunnables. He's making his way to Lich now.
Still a lot ahead, including that very ugly fight with Kraken. Tiamat hasn't unleashed anything too terrible yet.
With the power bonk, he should be fine.
And then it all comes down to Chaos. Ooh!
Nuclear. That's not something you want to see. And Tiamat has very, very high evasion, everyone.
Okay, this just got interesting. But how long will it take to roll another nuclear?
He could have nuke. Actually, I think he could have double instance of nuclear, if I remember correctly.
I remember Fog 2 was available, but I don't think he picked it up. I don't think either runner picked it up. And we never found Wall that I recall.
He should have remembered the showcase race when we should have picked up Lock 2.
Comes Blizzard again. I think we saw Blizzard first turn, and then we saw Nuclear 4th turn.
Well, that was a nice hit from that, Oh, and Tiamat goes down.
Oh my. So those were 2 very unpleasant fiends. Philes able to get by.
Philes hanging on by the skin of his teeth there.
So we still have Chaos ahead, and remember, up to 220% stats, so nothing is a given at this stage.
Mono, there's a possible chance that one of the Carry or Lich could have had nuke, and we never saw it because they died too fast. We have Ice 2 first on Chaos.
Not the scariest thing you could see.
Absolutely not. That's actually something you would like to see, unless Chaos has ink.
Don't blame it at all for going with the Invis 2 strats.
Everybody get your hashtag nuke files ready for chat.
Good time to mention, this is a best of 3 between these 2 runners, and their next match is scheduled for Wednesday night currently. If If you want to keep up to date when the Final Fantasy Randomizer matches are going on, there's always updates on the Discord when we have a race that day.
Hat 1 goes down to a Fire 3. And Philes is opting to hyper buff his Knight here. He's looking to one-shot Chaos here.
Chaos used a rub, and now you're protected, but protected is not a guarantee, as
The
we
spell
have
can
definitely
still,
seen.
yes, the spell can still crit, and it can still go through it. After 5 power bonks, he's gonna swing.
Ooh, zap. 800 damage is not enough.
Oh, Bane. And 1,306 damage, and Chaos is still not falling.
That's over 2,000 damage,
And we
Over
have a
3,000
dot done.
damage.
We have a dot done in chat. Philes is done. Everybody, get your hashtag no nuke Philes in. Go.
oh, what a night. What a race. What could have been, even.
GG to Philes.
Keeping an eye to see when we'll get Philes in here, hopefully. Might need to catch his breath after all that.
What a race between those two. That was incredible.
And meanwhile, Edge is back up and just got through Kraken, so has made some time up. Not enough, however.
That Kraken fight was absolutely a nail biter.
Being asked in chat how you randomize this game, I'd actually recommend checking us out in the Discord for a bit more detail than we're going to be able to get into tonight.
I mean, I can't tell you how to randomize this game, and Troper could.
Edge, meanwhile, is into the fight against Tiamat 2.
Give me 1 second. I will get you folks a link to the Discord.
Czar's on top of it. Czar's
After I
always on
drop the
top of it.
hashtag nuke Philes. Oh, Czar's got it. Mazmune was in the chest, Sky Tower, Sky Castle, 2nd floor, bottom left chest.
There's Philes. Thank
We
you for
have
joining
Philes
us.
joining the chat. Good game, man. That was a incredible finish.
Oh man, I have no idea how I pulled that off. Clearly something happened to Edge.
Not really, other than picking Marsh before Ordeals.
I went into Marsh before Ordeals too, actually.
He also went to Sea Shrine first.
Yeah, I was a
There
little
is a
worried
reason
that
for that too.
Yeah, I think I got done with Volcano. I went into Volcano. Like, I was kind of having a hard time. I'm like, all right, time to figure out like where to go from here. I got the floater. I'm like, all right, Incentive Ice Cave. We're going there. And getting the Adamant was kind of a spit in the face. But it ended up actually paying off toward the end of the seed.
The reason Edge dipped after grabbing the floater is because he ran into a specific encounter.
Was it the Peds that had Blaze? Because that was the only thing that was really scary.
Oh no, Pete's had something else. Pete's?
Oh god, what did they have?
Pete's had Nuke.
Oh, what?
He got nuked twice by Pete. Once outside of Crescent Lake and once inside the volcano. So he said, I'm out of here. I'm going to somewhere else.
So the bribes I paid off to the P's before the C generation paid off then?
Basically, yes. So if you scroll up in chat, or if you're on the speed gaming
I just
chat,
joined and I'm seeing a bunch of hashtag nuke files.
it is the trend we started for the hashtag nuke files.
Oh, and Edge was right behind me too. Holy crap!
He pulled some pretty good time back. He actually didn't check any of the keylock chests because he ended up finding Mazmune on Sky Castle floor 2. So he didn't need the tail.
I just blew past that floor.
Yeah. He was still digging for a chest. And Edgeworth is gonna done and join the Discord. GG Edgeworth, that was an insane race.
Wow.
Well, like I've said before, if there's something in ordeals, I'm probably going to lose.
King of the trash seeds.
How did you guys like the unincentivized slab in that chest?
Oh my god, I got done with Ice Cave having found the adamant. I'm like, alright, this could help my black beltless party. And I'm like, alright, I'm gonna take a semi-stupid gamble and go to Earth Cave. It's not a crazy gamble, it's a reasonable one. And when I got nothing out of Earth Cave, I'm like, alright, it's time to gamble. Where's Edge gonna go last? Martian Ordeals. And the slab being in the incentivized chest, quote unquote, even though it wasn't incentivized, I laughed right out loud as soon as I opened that chest.
We saw Edge get an unfortunate mishap happen numerous times with Pedes. How did that make you feel, Edge?
It was funny because I was able to actually kill them easily the first, I think, 3 or 4 times I saw them. And then when they just hit me, I let the entire cycle go through because I was laughing too hard.
It's funny because I saw that the Peds had Blaze, and like you could force a EXP fight in Crescent with it was a second fight after the power cycle, and I fought him a couple times and got lucky and saw the Blaze. I'm like, all right, I'm never fighting those guys again. And I never actually I never knew they had nuke until I was informed after the race. So, don't buy any lottery tickets tonight, Edge.
I'm not going anywhere tonight. The NyQuil started kicking in around ordeals. I'm gonna go.
You're running NyQuil strats?
Yeah.
Okay.
GG, man, that must have been a crazy race at the end. Did you go a black belt, I'm guessing, Edge?
No.
You actually both ran the same party.
Oh, you went the Philes double red mage strats?
Yeah. I remade after seeing round 1. It had everything that you wanted.
Yeah, level 1 and level 2 was stacked. In fact, there was a really hard choice in level 1 because it was Fire 3, Life, Nuke, and Fast. So you had to choose, of 4 great spells, you can only have 3 on each character.
Yeah, I only ended up with Warp on one person.
Yeah, I went Fire and Life on both, and then Warp on one and Fast on the other as well.
So after you both found yourselves in go mode, you were still looking through a few different treasure chests. Philes, you stopped with Tail. Was that what specifically you were looking for, or were you hoping for something else?
I was, having had the Power Gauntlet, I was like, okay, I had the Ice Sword. That's my bare minimum. I will stop looking for chests if I'm otherwise super comfortable or have great magic. But Ice Sword is pretty bottom tier, and I had this hot adamant sitting in my pocket, and I was like, all right, I have all these other chests I can open with the crown, and they're pretty convenient. How about I just dip in and take a look at them? I was looking for Sun Sword, Masamune, Tail that would let me use the adamant. Any one of those would have been fine. I just stopped when I got the Tail.
Edge, by that point, you already had Masamune, so you didn't opt for any of the key chests, but that would have netted you Tail, so what was the thought process in sticking with Masamune?
I just wanted either Excalibur or Massa.
Yeah, where exactly was it again? I was told it was in Sky somewhere.
The vanilla adamant chest.
Oh, what made you check those floors instead of the stacked ones up top? Just because you know I always skip them, or?
No, because I checked the ones up top too. I had a
Oh,
goddamn
you went
ice
back
sword.
down. Oh, nice. Yeah, I went through. It was a pretty tight TM or Kraken, Tiamat, and Chaos for me. That was a nail biter. I was pretty close to a wipe there.
Speaking of NyQuil strats, Philes, so you said you got the spit in your face from the ice cave, but you actually turned around and returned the spit to Tiamat's face when you baned him.
Oh,
How did
yeah,
that
that
make you
was
feel?
super clutch. Oh god, during the Infinite Scroll Bridge on the second to last floor of Sky Castle, I just ran straight through it. I'm like, oh sweet Jesus, I'm gonna get to the part of the encounter table that has like the 3 quick fights, and then that screen, the Warmech Bridge screen, has the the highest encounter rate. I was just preparing to fight like 5 Warmechs. And then actually ended up having a pretty good time, so I'm like, alright, well, let's respect the memes and Banesword. And not only did it work, but it was the first action by my thief in the entire fight, and it hit Banesword. That was good times.
Yeah,
I
so
was-
we were actually pretty happy with that result.
The only way it could have been better is if it had worked on Tiamat too as well.
Hey, I tried. I was fighting for my life in that Temple of Fiends, and I still threw out the Bane strats. Just wasn't rewarded that time, as I should not have been.
How are you feeling with that Kraken 2 fight when he just started, destroying your party members one by one?
I mean, I had Invis 2 was on White Magic 2, and since if Edge did what I did, he had a whole bunch of casts of it, and you had the white shirt, so I kind of threw out a safety. Instead of using the Power Gauntlet buff right away, I threw out an extra defense on my warrior, and I think that might have saved me, because if one more guy had gotten killed, like if my red mage had died before all those evade stacks went up, I don't know if I would have finished that Temple of Fiends in the first try.
Let me just
So
throw
like
this one
any
out.
good randomizer play, just a little bit of luck helped push me over the edge. That's the only way I beat my my good friend Edgeworth, is if the wind's blow in my favor.
Let me throw this one out. This was round 3, so obviously you've been running other flags in the tournament, but we had a couple new ones added here with the weapons fixes, among others. Did that change anything up? Did you remember things like that going into it?
Well, with weapon fixes on, it makes it kind of. I'd say the biggest difference is the crit rate change. I think for a lot of weapons. Suddenly weapons like Vorpal, while not amazing, do have a pretty good crit rate, and the katana also becomes a little bit more interesting with a higher crit rate as well. So I tried to respect the meme sword with Vorpal, but since Saber was on the same magic level as Invis 2, it was hard to justify cast of Saber on my Vorpal holding red mage to make that work. Just Invis 2 was the smarter play there. Edge didn't have that problem, though, with that sweet Mass Moon, though.
Edge, before that NyQuil finishes you off for the night, any final thoughts you want to share?
No, this went pretty much as expected as soon as I found Ribbon and Slab in Ordeals.
Wait, who made this seed? Whoever made this seed needs to make the next seed for me and Edge's second match.
It was actually Czar.
Awesome.
Where else would you get nuke peds?
Good stuff. Well played, Edge. I look forward to our second match.
Couldn't have been Czar. There was nothing in Earth.
Yeah, I even went to Earth. I respected the Czar seed creation meme and went to Earth Cave early and was not repaid.
We actually made some pretty funny comments on that. I was like, so Czar made the seed, so there's gonna be something possibly in Earth. I was like, but then again, Philes is playing the seed, so there's definitely gonna be something in Ordeals.
It appears that my bad juju is stronger than Czar's this evening.
Seems that way.
Well, again, we thank you both for a great race. I think final times were less than 5 minutes apart for everything you had to go through in this seed. That was a great, close match, and we're looking forward to the rematch on Wednesday.
Likewise. GG, Edge.
All right, guys. GG's. Thanks for tuning in. be sure to follow the runners, follow commentary, follow the tracker, follow Speed Gaming. Also, hashtag nuke files.
And don't forget to join us in the Discord to be able to keep up to date with the schedule. I think we have another match tomorrow night. I don't know the details, but if you join the Discord, you can find out. And we thank all of you for watching us tonight on Speed Gaming. Thank you, Speed Gaming and Fiesel, for hosting us. Everybody say thanks, Fiesel, in chat, please, and have a great night.